You are the only player to beat Tiger Woods in a playoff. I mean, that is amazing. That is a one of a kind accomplishment at this point. Might stand forever. So let's go back to that because it's such a cool story. I was reading about it. Like I said, I was trying to find some grainy YouTube footage of it, and it said that it got moved. So it was normally at Riviera, right? And then it
Yeah,
got
Riviera was
moved.
hosted. Yeah, Riviera that year was hosting the PGA Championship in August, so they didn't want to have two tournaments that close to one another. So we played at Valencia, and one of the nice things there, when you do win the Nissan, they give you a money clip, and I have the only money clip that has Valencia Country Club on it. So that I have that very proudly. I carry that around very proudly every day. But the funny story about it was, for me, was that we had played Tucson the week before, and I was playing really good at Tucson, and I double bogeyed the last hole. I hit it over the top of the flag, buried in the back bunker, ended up making 6 on a par 4. It took me out of the top 10, and I was upset. I wasn't going to go play LA. I was not going to. I drove all the way back to Phoenix after Tucson. And I said, I'm not going there. I'm not going there. I'm upset. And my dad and my mom and dad said, no, son, you're playing good. Get your butt over there and do that. And, I played really good the first 2 days. I think I had a 4-shot lead after 36 holes and just kind of, was in the lead most of the tournament. And then on Sunday on the backside, Tiger, became Tiger. And I knew he was around. I knew that he had birdied 18. I knew I had 17 and 18 still to play. And I hit a real good shot in on 17 and didn't quite make the putt. So 18 was a par 5. So I knew I needed to make 4 in order to win, and didn't hit that good of a drive and had to lay up to about 80 yards. And there again, we talk about the short game. I hit a nice little 80-yard wedge in about 10 feet from the hole and made that to get in the playoff. And, and the playoff was back to 18. So it was a par 5. Everyone thinks Tiger's going to win that because he can knock it on in 2. And fortunately for me, he hit it right off the tee in the trees, which meant he couldn't really go for it. I didn't hit as good of a drive. I had to lay up again. He went for the green, missed it to the right, pin high to the right, and I hit a real good. This time, I really hit a good wedge shot in there, and it backed up about 4 feet. And he hit a chip that went past about 20 feet, and then he did his sportsmanship, and he walked back and forth a few times, making me try to look at that 4-footer. And I knew what the 4-footer was going to do because I had just hit the putt. It was I was fortunate enough. It was almost on the same identical line. So I knew exactly what it did. And I said, Billy, it's inside left. It's inside left. I said, he's going to make this putt. So when he does, hit it inside left and let's make it. We'll go to the next hole. I mean, you have to be prepared that he's going to make this putt. One, he's Tiger Woods, but anyone out there, you want to expect that he's going to make that. And when he finally did hit the putt, he just missed it. He hit a great putt right on the top of the hole and tapped in, and I hit the 4-footer, and when as soon as I hit it, I thought I'd made it, and it just kind of bounced around and went in, and at that moment you didn't realize what you had done. I mean, you talk about it now. We talk about this still 20 years later, but for me, it was a big win for me because it was winning a golf tournament, which is very hard to do out there in the PGA Tour, but also winning on the West Coast, which means that you have almost a 3-year exemption, which was really nice to have. I had the rest of that year, then 2 more years. So that was the first thing that kind of went through my head and all that. And it really wasn't until the next week when I got at Doral when I went in the media room and there's all of a sudden 1,000 reporters there talking to me about beating Tiger, that I didn't realize what it all meant until probably the week afterwards.
Yeah, that I was gonna say, just reading about it, I'm like, because it said you shot 67, he shot 66 that day, so you guys are playing really good golf, and then to
Yep.
get into that playoff, what when you putted out, and because you made birdie on the last hole, I read that you hit a sand shot to 4 feet, and you got up
Yep.
and down for bunker once again, the short game on
Short game.
display. What is that cart ride like when you're driving back to 18 to be like, wow, I'm going against Tiger Woods right now? Like, is that just again the same thing? We're not trying to overthink it.
Well, no, you of course you're always thinking about who you're going to play. It's a playoff, and you have to understand something. Tiger Woods wasn't what Tiger Woods is today. I don't mean anything disrespectful
Yeah.
to him, that he had not won everything. He was not what he is, and all that. But he was still. I knew he lived there. I knew
Yeah.
what he was. I knew what he was all about. I mean, but I wanted to win. I didn't care who it was. I was going to try to. I wanted to win this golf tournament, and as time went along, obviously Tiger career went away, that win became bigger and bigger for me. But driving back, I honestly thought if I could get to 10, I had a real good chance, because if
Mm.
I could get by the par 5 and tie him on the first hole, then we were going to play 10 and I think 11 and then back to 18. If I could get through this first hole, then it was a little more equal, because we were going to go to par 4. Unfortunately, as I said, we beat him on the first hole, and what I think the biggest thrill that I got out of it was I was told later that about 20 tour pros stayed in the locker room and watched. And when I made my putt on 18 to win, they all hurrahed and hoorayed and were happy for me. And to me, that's probably one of the biggest honors you could have, is when your tour pros are cheering for you to win. And I don't think they had any disrespect towards Tiger, don't get me wrong, but they wanted to see me win. And to have that many guys cheer for me was really a thrill.
Man, that is just such a cool story. I was kind of reading some old press clippings I could find of it, and it seems like Tiger's still a little bitter. He missed that fairway and didn't give himself a good chance, because he knew he had a distance advantage on that par 5, but just couldn't get it done, and then left himself a tough putt. And for some reason, he didn't make it. He normally always makes those putts. For some reason,
I was in the right place at the right time when he missed it. But I think Tiger, he really wanted. Obviously, he wanted to win. We all want to win. Yeah. But I think he wanted to win because he grew up in that area. He was he used to go down to the amusement park right there in Valencia all the time. So it was a special place for him to win. And one of the funniest things was, about 2 years later, my wife and I were sitting at lunch in the players round, and Tiger came over and said if he could sit with us. And I said, yeah, absolutely. Tiger, come on, have a seat. He goes, yeah. He goes, I can intimidate all these guys on tour, but I can't intimidate you. So
that is amazing.
So I just looked at him and kind of gave him a wink and said thank you so much. And like I said, I think we're good friends. And like I said, what he's doing right now is an amazing thing.